If we press this with Russia, it will reach us here in the US. Colonel McGregor tells Tucker why the Ukraine war must end now. And let's remember, peace talks aren't even taking place. Tucker Carlson Monday published an interview with former Trump administration official Colonel Douglas McGregor, retired, who explained why the war in Ukraine has put the United States on the brink of a catastrophic war that could easily destroy us, he said. Carlson begins with a bold statement: pretty much everything that NBC and New York Times have told you about the war in Ukraine is a lie. The Russian army is incompetent, they claim. Ukraine is a democracy. Vladimir Putin is Hitler, and he's trying to take over the world. Thankfully, the Ukrainians are winning. Every claim is fake, false, at least the last one, especially Carlson, adding the Ukrainian army is not winning. In fact, it's losing badly. Ukraine is being destroyed and its population being slaughtered. Most Americans know nothing about Ukraine, McGregor continued, adding that if we knew anything about the history of Eastern Europe, they would all say, get out, because the wars and blood and the hatred that's being fought over for centuries is something we can't sort out. McGregor's comments grow more ominous in their tone as the discussion continues. He notes that President Biden has enabled combat pay, which implies that the American forces on the ground in Ukraine, it would be a mistake to think that the Russian forces do not know where they are. The retired colonel explains, pointing out that Russians are sending a message with recent precision missile strikes near the borders of Poland and Moldova. He says, if you think you can hide from us, if you come in here, if you cross these borders, we will annihilate you. We need to come into terms with these realities because we can't defeat it, he remarked, reflecting on the fact that people have calling him unpatriotic for his recent comments. He summed the situation in Ukraine up rather succinctly. He said, if we press this war with Russia in Central East Europe, it will reach us here in the United States. According to McGregor, the smartest thing we can do is end this war now, adding the Russians will never tolerate NATO forces on Ukrainian soil. Ukrainian forces are in piecemeal fashion, surrendering to the Russians, not because they don't want to fight, it's because they can't fight anymore. They have so many wounded they can't evacuate them. We're going to see this army that we have spent so heavily on melt away, he said. And when it comes to the equipment being used to fight, McGregor said that a lot of the equipment we send over there, these quite frankly obsolete, it's very old, it's not new. Integrated air defenses will knock virtually everything that flies out of the sky, he said, adding we will then fall back on a nuclear deterrent, a tactical nuclear weapon that says if you keep advancing, we'll have to use a nuclear weapon. We don't want to go there because the notion that there are so-called tactical nukes, oh, it's just a little nuke, so that won't precipitate a nuclear war. The use of any nuclear equipment is going to precipitate an escalation very rapidly, he said. This is by Zurich Tyler Durden. Please leave your comments and thank you for your support. Finally, support my Patreon account. The daily posts are 5 videos daily, and they are totally different from what I have on my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for your support and that you find all my content so interesting. You'll find the Patreon account details in the description box below.